All right, let's cut right through all the noise. We're talking about artificial intelligence for home building leaders today. Is this thing a genuine revolution, or is it just another wave of really expensive hype? Our job here is to find the real signal in all that static.
Okay, so to get started, let's just throw a big number out there. $10 million. That's about what it costs for a single 30-second commercial during the Super Bowl. It's the ultimate stage for big promises, right? Bold new ideas. But what is a Super Bowl ad really a signal of?
Will Duderstadt, the CMO of M/I Homes, he points out something pretty crucial here. We've seen this movie before. The dot-coms did it. Then the crypto companies jumped in. And now, AI is buying up those super expensive ad slots. It is the same exact playbook with the same big promise. This changes everything. But we also know that playbook has an incredibly high failure rate.
And that brings us to what we're calling the Super Bowl playbook. It's really a masterclass in how capital and marketing behave when a technology story gets way ahead of its actual operational reality.
This right here is the core distinction we have to make: hype versus signal. Hype? Well, that's what you get when execution isn't quite there, so the marketing volume gets cranked up to 11 to try and cover that gap. Signal, on the other hand, that's when something is genuinely working. Its success, it speaks for itself, and usually a lot more quietly.
But for home builders, this isn't just about some marketing noise. The challenge that AI brings to the table is a much deeper, more structural problem for the entire industry.
Think about it. Home building companies are exceptionally good at riding waves. They are built to adapt to economic cycles. You know the drill. Rates go up, sales slow down, the market eventually turns, and the whole machine ramps back up. It's a muscle memory that's kept companies in business for decades. But AI? It isn't a cycle. It's a fundamental structural shift, and relying on that old muscle memory could actually be your Achilles heel.
This is exactly why the whole debate of is AI real or is it hype completely misses the point. The real question leaders need to be asking is this: is our organization, our culture, our operations, is it capable of learning faster than our own customers' behavior is changing?
And that leads to a really critical insight. So many people are hoping AI will be this magic wand that just fixes all their legacy issues. But the reality is, AI exposes your problems, it doesn't fix them.
John Sicilian Jr., the CEO of Sicilian Partners, he just puts it perfectly. He says if your data is a mess, spread out across different systems, inconsistent, stuck in silos, AI won't magically clean it up for you. No, it's just going to make all that confusion worse by amplifying the uncertainty you already have. He even goes a step further, sharing what he calls a dirty secret. Just layering new software on top of a messy foundation, that's not going to solve anything. In fact, it's way more likely to create more problems.
And this is a brilliant illustration of what those problems actually look like in the real world of home building. Think about closings that can't be tied to a specific lot or plan, or having multiple CRM systems that don't even talk to each other, marketing dashboards that are just optimizing for clicks instead of real buyer intent. Or, and this is a big one, treating the customer journey like it's some straight line when we all know it's anything but. AI won't repair these fractures, it's going to stress test them until they break. So what does it really take to make AI work? I'll tell you, it's not about the fanciest algorithm. It's about getting the fundamentals right. You need structured data, you need clear workflows, you need actual human accountability, and you need something that's often in short supply: leadership patience. These aren't tech problems, they're organizational learning problems, full stop.
So, okay, after outlining all of these challenges, the question is still there. How do you actually win? Well, the answer lies in what we're calling the quiet winners playbook.
So, there are two fundamentally different ways you can approach this whole thing. The first is what we call forward from tools. It's where you buy the shiniest, newest AI software on the market and just cross your fingers and hope it fixes something. The second, and far more effective approach, is backward from outcomes. This is where you start by clearly identifying the specific business problem you need to solve, and then you go find the right solution for that problem. See the difference?
And this brings us to the actual path. It's not some giant, scary leap. It's a series of deliberate, methodical steps. You start small, with manageable projects that are led by people. You pilot them before you even think about scaling. You always work backward from the outcome you want. You learn in the real market, not from some theoretical PowerPoint deck. And maybe most importantly, you empower your frontline teams. And that last point, it's completely non-negotiable. Like John Sicilian says, the people who actually make change happen are the ones on the ground. The sales reps, the VPs of sales. If your big AI initiative can't be tested, validated, and improved by the people who are closest to your buyers into the operational friction, it's not a real strategy, it's just corporate theater.
So let's reframe the objective entirely. The goal isn't to buy AI. The real strategic goal is to build an organization that can learn and adapt faster than the market is changing all around you.
Which brings us to our final section, and really the heart of the matter, the real leadership test.
If you take just one thing away from this explainer, please let it be this. True AI readiness, it has very little to do with courageously buying technology. It has everything to do with having the courage to look in the mirror and honestly confront how your organization actually learns.
And here's the test. Ask yourself this. Can your leadership team pilot new ideas without overcommitting massive resources? Can you measure real business outcomes instead of just tracking busy work and activity? Are you willing to let your frontline teams teach the C-suite what's really going on? Can you handle some short-term ambiguity to build a long-term capability? And maybe the hardest one of all, can you break the habit of just waiting for the next market cycle to force you to change? This all comes full circle, right back to our Super Bowl metaphor. In an era of just deafening hype, homebuilders don't need louder stories or bigger promises. What they need is quieter, more deliberate competence.
Because the builders who are going to win this next decade, they won't be the ones who just bought the fanciest tools first. They'll be the ones who mastered the skill of learning, deliberately, humbly, and continuously. So the final question is pretty simple. Is that you?